Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2020 BMW M8 Competition Coupe. Now this has been in production since August 2019, and it is the high performance version of the standard 8 series. And yeah, it's a Grand Tourer. It's got an 8-speed automatic gearbox to make it as quick in terms of acceleration as it can be, but also as easy to drive as you would want a Grand Tourer to be. And yeah, this is the competition package version as well, so it's a high performance version of the high performance version basically, as it comes with 26 extra horsepower. And yeah, it's also got modified induction system, a more rigid engine mount system, as well as carbon ceramic brakes over the standard iron brakes, which yeah, probably aren't very good. And yeah, that means that this is a very sporty but ultimately also really rather quite luxurious car to drive. And yeah, that's exemplified by the interior, which yeah, outside of the colour trim, is pretty damn nice, to be honest. Nice amount of screens. You've got your automatic gearbox down there, the seats look comfy enough, and yeah, still got some analog switches, which is nice to see, especially when it comes to like the air conditioning and stuff, because who wants to really be fumbling for a screen while trying to drive? And yeah, looks like it's got plenty of space in the back despite its sloping rear roof. And yeah, the boot is pretty spacious as well, so yeah, spacious, practical Grand Tourer, but one that, as you can see just by the looking at it, is really rather performance orientated car as well. Big wheels, big grills, you got your front splitter, you got a rear spoiler on the go, quad exhausts, and probably a rear diffuser under there as well. And yeah, and to top it all off, you've got a really rather potent engine. So not only does it have more power than the more standard version of the M8, which if it would let me get into the engine bay, I don't know where the prompt has gone. Let's just open it like that then. But yeah, it's a 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, producing 617 horsepower and 553 pounds-feet of torque. Now the torque is the same on this competition version as it is on the standard M8, but like I said, it's got 26 extra horsepower, so yeah, very potent in terms of power there. Although unfortunately, due to it having all-wheel drive system and yeah, not exactly being the most stripped out of interiors, it does weigh 4,354 pounds, which is quite a large amount. But this car's more than able to deal with that extra weight over, say, a a more lightened M3 or something, just because of how good the suspension is. The all-wheel drive system keeps all the power and torque in check, and yeah, it's able to accelerate still pretty promptly, quickly, despite all of that weight. To see how quick though, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. So because it's got all of that power and it's got the all-wheel drive system, it's no surprise that the acceleration on this is quite ballistic. So yeah, let's see how ballistic by getting it down this drag strip and see how quick we can go before we hit the speed camera. So yeah, pretty damn sharpish, as you can see. My 8-speed gearbox is lightning fast, making sure every gear change is crisp and as quick as possible. And yeah, the 143, which for a car of this weight and size is pretty incredible, to be honest. And like I said, it does handle its weight really rather nicely. It does not feel as heavy as it actually is. It feels a lot lighter and a lot sharper than it should be, to be honest, especially when you consider it's got all-wheel drive system, which typically can induce a lot of understeer, but it's been balanced in such a way where it's more likely to have oversteer than understeer, so that's also very nice. So yeah, let's get to the track and see just what we can do with this thing, and yeah, hear what it sounds like, and yeah, give you some more stats about just what this car's capable of. So yeah, we're in Rivals again, and yeah, we're in high A class, so it's not probably going to be the best score in A class, but you can probably upgrade it to S1 and it'd be pretty good. And yeah, as you can see, the balance is pretty good in terms of the front and rear weight distribution, so even though it does weigh a lot, it's pretty balanced. And yeah, the stats are pretty damn good as well. Handling and braking are dead even, but then the launch, acceleration and speed are all pretty damn good as well. So yeah, this is a car I've wanted on a Forza game for a while now, mostly because I think it was in the Grand Tour when they went to Australia, and the Clarkson used the 4-door Grand Coupe version. I would have preferred that version, just because I think it looks a little bit better as a 4-door rather than this 2-door version, but they still look impeccable either way. And yeah, so let's see what it sounds like and how it drives. Let's see what it's like in the straight line, so let's hear what it sounds like. So yeah, I don't think the engine sounds the best, to be honest. I think, again, BMW are a little bit hit and miss with their forced induction engines. You can sometimes sound really rather good, and other times they don't sound that great at all. I'm not saying it sounds awful, but yeah, considering it's got a sizable V8 and almost 600 horsepower, I would have expected it to sound a little bit better. But I guess at the end of the day, it does mean that it's a a quieter car for everyday uses. And being a Grand Tourer, the last thing you really want is a loud, shouty engine on the go. So, yeah, I guess it works in that regard. But still, the engine, even though it's not the best sounding engine, it's still high revving at more than 7,000 RPM, and it does get this car in terms of acceleration from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds dead, 0 to 100 in 6.3 seconds dead, and it will to an estimated top speed of 210 miles an hour. Although it's unlikely to do that in real life, quite frankly. But yeah, handling wise, like I said, it's more likely to induce oversteer than understeer with that all-wheel drive system, which is good to see. I do find oversteer a bit more manageable, quite frankly, than understeer. But yeah, there's a little bit of understeer here and there, but there's definitely more in the way of oversteer, and that at the end of the day does mean that you can have plenty of fun with this car. Yes, it's got all-wheel drive, but that does not mean it's not going to want to slide around, because as you can see, it's more than capable of doing that. But then you also have the benefit of all-wheel drive in, all-weather climates, and yeah, when you do want to take this car seriously in terms of how it drives, you've got plenty of grip on offer as well. It's more than capable of dealing with that, horsepower and torque. There's a little bit of body roll, I feel, but not as much as I would have expected for a Grand Tourer. So yeah, it's no bad aspect really, to be honest, either on that front. So yeah, really do like this car. It's not disappointed whatsoever after me wanting it in a Forza game for a long time. And yeah, it's not really disappointed at all. Yes, I'm not a massive fan of the engine noise, but just as in terms of a driver's car or one that can really eat up the miles on this game, it's more than capable of doing that. And it's fun as well to drive. So yeah, and I also like the look of it. This is before BMW absolutely ruined their cars by giving them the biggest and most ugly looking grills going. But yeah, this is a reasonable sized looking grill on this, and yeah, overall it is a really handsomely proportioned car. So yeah, really do like the look of it. Like it in this blue as well. Comes in red in the standard version that you buy out of the car pass, but you can change it into any colour, and yeah, I really do like this blue going as well. And speaking of that, yeah, it is part of the car pass. It's one of the 4 cars that are in this current series. We're on Series 8. And yeah, we have 2 more Audis to look forward to, and a Volkswagen. So yeah, look forward to reviewing those as well. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.